Good afternoon folks, and welcome to another video. And what we're going to talk about today is radios, one make in particular. We're going to talk about Bush. Now this is a Bush, this is a Bush VHF 41. Made in 1954-55, around that region. Lovely old girl, works lovely, or at least mine does on AM in AM anyway. Just switch this on. Right. Basically, I've restored this, as you all know. Before we get to anything, I've restored this, but I've not done any work on the radio section. I've done work on the audio amplifier, because it was distorted, but I've not done any recapping or any checking because the FM still doesn't work. And that's as low as the volume goes. Don't know what it is with these Bushes, but seem to have that problem. Let's move it on to, put it on FM a minute. Anyway, this thing was made in 1954-55. It has a right to have, it's got a right to go a bit faulty. It's old. And by rights it shouldn't be here now, but it still is, and it's still doing the job that it was designed to do when it was new. And as I say, on AM it works lovely, and I've not had a chance to. Well, I'm waiting for the capacitors to come in. I'm waiting for the capacitors. I've not had a chance to. Look at that finish. That's not bad, that is it, folks. You know, I've done a good job on that. Anyway, I'm waiting for the components to come so that I can finish the job. But I've put it together because I don't want to lose anything, and the AM works, and I'm really an AM man anyway, and I can listen to it, I can use it like that, I'm not bothered. I'm not going to sell it, so it doesn't matter, but it will get done. So there is a part, I think it's a part 7 or a part 8 to come, isn't they?
Norwich have lost best players. Blues haven't been able to sign players. We'll hear from Gary Monk, the bird. Got all the
And that's it. There's no point going any further. There's nothing else at that end of the band. Not around here, there ain't anyway.
I do prefer the steady mid-temp.
Let's turn that off. Anyway, this was made, like I say, 1954-55, and it's still working. Apart from the fact I've replaced a couple of capacitors around the audio valve and around the first stage audio input output, around the EABC valve, which is does a few jobs, that valve. One of them is your first stage audio input, or audio output, if I've said it the right way. Don't matter whether I have or not. Anyway, the point being, this morning I was given this. Now that was made in 1955. This was made in 2016. So what's that? 2016, was it? Is that 60 years? Yeah. 60 years, about 60 years, yeah, about 60 years later, Bush brought out this, which is the Bush DAB stereo DAB radio, DAB FM radio. And they call it a wooden wow. Really? Right. No. Made in China. It runs at 6 volts from a wall wart. Now, the difference between these two radios is chalk and cheese. Now, Whereas this old girl works, almost, apart from the FM. Whereas this old girl works, this fucker doesn't. It comes on, no sound. So what we'll do, we'll have a look. We'll look into it and we'll see if we can determine why there's no sound, and see if this is any easier to fix than what this is. Because I find these, as long as the manufacturers of the components send me the right parts to put in them, I find them not too bad to work on. Anyway, we'll move this old girl over here. There we go, out of the way. And make room for this, what do we want to call it? Right, so, well, they're sold through Argos, aren't they, these? You know, there's a tip, don't buy anything from Argos, it's going to be crap. Argos, if you're watching, stock better stuff that people want to buy that lasts longer. Now, I've already removed the screws from the back. It's a bit like a cookery programme. Here's one I did earlier. And all we do, we grab the aerial, we just pull the back away. And basically, so we turn it round so we can work on this animal. Right, and basically we'll turn we want the signal tracer on, because there's no audio on this radio. None whatsoever, not a peep out of it. Would help if I give it some power, wouldn't it? There's the signal tracer warming up. Time not set, really. Okay. Absolute radio connecting. Now playing Lightning Bolt by whatever, Jake Bug. Whoever fucking Jake Bug. Who's Jake Bug? Answers down below in the comments. Right, so let's connect and see what this turd actually does. So we connect to the negative of the aerial, use that as a ground. And what we'll do first, we'll go to the speaker. Well, we're getting something there. Let's turn the volume up. That's down. No very little speaker output. Now on that one. Now on that one. So unplug the speakers. So we're getting now on that one. But we're getting plus and minus here, and we're getting something on both sides of that speaker, and we shouldn't do. So let's go around. Let's see where the audio goes in. It's got to go in through these. Let me see if I can get you in a better position so we can zoom in, so you can see what I'm actually fucking doing here. There we go. Now, let's try and zoom in a little bit. Let's move the job a bit further over onto the bench. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. Right, that's as far as I'm going to be able to go in, I think. And be able to actually work on this turd. Right. So let's have a look at the animal. We've got a radio board here, which will do the FM. This will be the FM front end, everything else, and DAB. All this lot will be in this board here, that green board there. Now, so what we're going to do, I'm going to check these jumpers here, because the audio's got to come off here and get to here, because this is the audio output chip, I'm certain of it. So what we're going to do, we'll check here. Nothing. Nothing. Let's turn the volume up on the generator a bit. we're getting output there, and we're getting output there. So the outputs, so we're getting the output. Now let's have a look round the chip. Nothing. A bit there. A bit there. Bit there. Nothing there. No. Nothing. Bit there. Nothing. 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 So, and the audio sent out, it's got to be on some of these pins. No. No. There. There we go. There we go, it's enough of that. So what have we determined from this? We've determined that either that capacitor there is foot, or the audio output IC is foot. And given that I got this for nothing, let's turn the signal generator off, or turn it down anyway. Given that I got it for nothing, is it really worth me spending my own personal valuable time on it? Well, yeah, I think so. Given that I was giving it for nothing and it doesn't really owe me anything, well, it doesn't owe me anything full. And note the use of Chinese hot glue there, look, on the aerial wires. They still got it sus, these Chinese, haven't they? They still put the hot snot on. And they've used hot snot as well to actually glue this module here, this radio module. This radio module is a removable item. That radio module is a removable item. And what they've done, here we go. What they've done, they've actually hot snotted it in. There we are. Now, there you are, folks. That's the radio module. And look at this here. There's a capacitor hiding under there. Yeah. Anyway, let's get the radio module out, because it'll make it easier. If I can. There we are. Move the back away now. And I won't run the risk of... do I really want to say it? I won't run the risk of damaging the radio module. But there again, folks, do you know something? I'll be able to use that radio module, even if I don't get this turd working. Anyway, I'll come back in a minute. Let me just get the screws out of this board. Right, we're back, folks, and we've got the turd out of the case. Right, let's have a look. Put the case down there. Probably use that case for something. I'll turn it into a Bluetooth speaker or something fucking there. Well, here's what we've got here. Let's zoom in. Right, well, basically what this is, if we get my big hands out of the way, this is basically your display module and your audio amplifier, and obviously your controls are on here as well. And what we're interested in is the audio amplifier, and to get the audio amplifier out, we have to remove the display. I just think Argos want about, fuck, I don't know about, I don't think this was new, when this was new, it was made in 2016, when it was new. Oh, hang on. Oh. They kept that bit a secret, didn't they? Got to desolder the backlight. Yeah, there's a backlight in there and it's got to be desoldered, you can't get it out. Well, just when you thought, and I don't want to rip that ribbon cable, but I don't really want to disconnect that ribbon cable at all actually. Reason for that is I want to check. You know, I would imagine this capacitor here will be okay. It's this one here that I'm more interested in. It's right near this chip, so I want to look at that. But in all honesty, folks, I can't even see what fucking. I can't even, you know, you can't even read the number on some of these fucking Chinese fucking chips. The numbers printed that faint. You can't fucking read the fucking numbers on the bastard and things. LM4863D. That's the number. So I've got that now on the video for reference, so I don't need to worry about looking at that again. This is for your display, and it tells you what each one does. Not that it helps, I need this out of the way because I should just be able to take them out together. They should just come out. There we go. Just heat them up. There we go. Oh, I've ripped one of the pads off. Oh dear. Doesn't matter, it'll reconnect. Oh, trust me to break a pad off. Not that it makes much fucking difference. It's a turd. Right, so here we are. This is the audio output. And first of all, I'm going to pull that capacitor. I don't think that capacitor will be fucked, to be honest, but if it's in, where's my sucker? Where's my sucker? Shit. Right, well, I'm putting another. What I'm going to do here, folks, I'm going to just put another. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put another 4. Ooh, I'm putting another 470 microfarad capacitor in. I haven't bothered getting the capacitor tester out just to test it, just for the hell of it, replace it. And it would help if we've got the soldering iron and not my cup of coffee to solder it in, wouldn't it? But I'm pretty sure the audio chips failed. But that'll be pulled out in due course, and for a couple of quid that chip will cost, I may as well replace it, and it'll make a decent bedside. Well, I'll say decent. It'll make a bedside radio, or I might even make a good gift for someone who I don't like very much. There we go. Now let's see if I can find me fucking clippers, because I can never find anything in here just lately. Things just move about and come and go and please themselves, and My clippers are on the bench somewhere. Right, that rattling you can hear is the screws out of the case. Oh, there they are. I took them out before I came on the camera. I was going to do this live, you know. I am going to do a live feed, maybe later on. I say maybe, but looking at the possibility of doing that. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clip this back together. You never know, you know. I might get lucky. I'm not worried about the backlight. Now let's, because I can clip everything on here, all except the speakers. So, oops, the display is falling out now. Let's just solder that so it just anchor it down for a minute. There we go. That's it. Just so the backlight don't fall, so the screen display don't fall out. Basically push that back onto the board, back onto there. I mean, some of you might be thinking, well, the board might have just needed reseating. It didn't. The reason why it didn't is because the radio is actually outputting right, it's actually passing a signal. Right, are we connected up? We are. Oh. Welcome to DAB radio. Yeah, you're welcome to it. Absolute radio. Right, well, it's did that before. So let's connect. Just make sure the volume's turned down. I don't know why I'm bothering. I don't expect this to work at all. Make sure that capacitor's not getting fucking hot or anything. No. No, we're okay. So, it looks like we're in the mark. It won't be that capacitor there. Right, so what I can do now, you see, I can follow. Let's put all this, put this turd out of the way for a minute. There we go. Right, so what I can do, I can't find my sucker at the moment. It's on here somewhere. Just can't fucking put my fingers on it. I need to sort the bench out. I'm doing that later, but I can't find my fucking sucker. So what I want to do, I'm going to take this display back out. Now, let's feed that through there, like that, as much of it as I can. There we go. Very, very carefully pulls that out. I'm not putting that on the top of there. Don't this turd scratching my nice radio. So I'll put that up there out of the way. And now we can get to the audio output chip. The volume control's okay. It goes up and down when you turn it, when you probe certain places. So basically we've just got to get that bastard out. I'd say it's that. Yeah, I would say it's that, folks. I mean, it can't be fuck all else, I wouldn't have thought. We've got these jumpers coming across here, and if we just follow these a minute, we can try and follow these jumpers here. We're coming across, which are the two outputs, these two top ones. Now they're outputting from the radio board into this chip. I mean, it could be any of these fucking surface mount fuckers here that I fuck, but I think it's that. That's what I'm going to replace anyway. For the couple of quid that it costs for one of those, I may as well put one in. I know I've not got one in stock. I might have one actually. I can pull out something scrap. I'll have a look at my scrap shit. Might be something I've got I can pull out. I was just looking there then, did I change the right capacitor? Yeah, I did. Because it's that one there. Yeah. Considering that solder's a bit crap, you know, it's not too bad. It's not bad at all, that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here, folks, because there's fuck all I can do. My sucker's behind this radio and buried somewhere. But, you know, and this is your speaker socket here. And given that we're getting a signal coming out of both grounds on the left hand side, I'd say that the chip's fucked. I'd say the chip's internally shorted, because we're getting a signal, a very, very small signal through the live and the negative terminals of the left hand speaker. So I would say there's not enough there to drive the speaker, but obviously the signal generator the signal tracer can see it. See, that signal tracer cost me £5. It cost me £5, folks, from the swap meet, and you know something? It's just paid for itself. It's really the first time I've used it. I've used it to on things that I know that are working to get the feel of it, but I've never used it actually on anything as such that isn't working. But this is the first thing I've used it on that has got no audio, and it's allowed me to trace it. I mean, it doesn't take 2 and 2 to get fucking to get 4 anyway. It said 6 then. It doesn't take 2 and 2 to get 4. You know, anyone could have worked out that chip could cause a problem. That could be the problem, but I think that's the issue, and that's what I'm going to replace. Anyway, that's on the back burner to be replaced. Anyway, folks, I'll get back to that when I get the chip in, and we'll just put this turd over here for now. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and keep up the good. Those of you that actually do partake, keep up the good work and keep restoring these old radios. Keep more of these old girls alive. You know, I'll tell you what, if they still made these today, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it, eh? But they don't, unfortunately. And I'll tell you what though, quickly before I go, I did actually look at a replica TR130. Right, that was my neighbour from upstairs, Francis. She popped in to have a look at this old radio here, just have a look at it, and because I was telling her about it, so she just popped in to have a look anyway. And while she was here, she spotted the turd, and so I told her when I fixed it she can have it. So she wants it, so I will actually replace the chip, and then she can have it. The chip, I need to get the chip out. I haven't got a replacement, but maybe one of you lads on fucking Fucking hell. Maybe someone, hey, there's me sucker. Maybe someone has a replacement. If you have, then, you know, I'll be grateful. If not, I'll just order one. But I always like to try and ask about first. Where's my frigging glasses? No way I can desolder that without my glasses on. I could have done a few years ago. Fucking hate this. You get older, your eyes wear out. Good job your dick never wears out. You just pull the knobs off so don't damage them. I'll put the knobs back on so I won't lose them. I'm not worried about losing the chip his foot. Or at least I believe it to be the case. There's no, I'm just physically checking, there's no dry joints around it. Nothing about that suggests that it's loose in any way. And right, you're gonna watch me extract a chip. Now, well, let's see if we can zoom you in a bit on this and you can have a really, really good look. I know we've moved, see if I can adjust the, oh, that's a bit much. Well, that's too much. There we go. That's as much as we can get. And basically, I'm taking out this chip here, which I believe to be the audio amplifier. Well, I don't believe it to be the audio amplifier. I know it's the audio amplifier. So very carefully and delicately, that pin there isn't used. Why did it go to the trouble of soldering pins that don't get used? Never quite worked that out. There are some people that use, oh, I'm not happy with that one. There we go. And that one's bent over. I know why you find the odd bent one, it's sold the chip in place during manufacture. Can I get the chip out in one pass? So this series of videos is going to be called the Turd. Some of them pins are bent over. Let me have a look. There we go. Well, them pins are thin, they don't take much fucking bending. That's it. Yeah, so that one's loose. Come on. Melt you bastard. There you go. One pin left. Now, let's see if I can, let's find something to lever the chip out with. Got a screwdriver here, that should be good enough. Can I get it out in one go? Of course I can, that's loose as fuck. It's as loose as my ass after a night on a beer, look at that. There we go. Have we broke any pins? Are we clear? Oh, of course we are, perfectly clear. We're ready for the new chip to go in. What I'll do, I'll clean any rough spots up. Well, actually I won't. I'll tell you why. Because I can do it when I put the new chip in it. And that's what your problem is, folks. And you can hardly read the fucking writing on them, and all they're really annoying, aren't they? Cunts who make these chips. You have to hold it under the light. LM4 fuck me. LM4 and LM4863 D. LM4863. LM4863. I'll have to research that, see if I can find one. And I believe that's all that's wrong with this radio. And is that a crack in the board? Can't see that fucking affecting it. Oh, that wouldn't go through the fucking print, would it? Disconnect the circuit. Soon find out. Scratch a bit of the solder mask off there. Just a little bit there. Just see. I doubt that. I fucking doubt that for 1 minute. But we'll find out. No. Just a scratch. It's just a little scratch. There we go. Right, zoom back out. Right, so basically what I'm going to do so I don't lose any of the bits of the turd, everything that belongs to the turd I'm going to put back in here. Alright, this is going to be known as the turd. I'm not asked about the chipless foot. Alright, where's the power supply? See, we'll drop that in there as well. Won't lose any of it. Oops. There we go. Yeah, and that's the power supply for the turd. Now, where's the display? Where did I put that? Where did I put the display? I put it somewhere. Where did I put it? There it is. And there's some screws here that have got to be put away. And what I'll do with the screws is put the back on the turd if I can. Well, I can't, so what I'll do, got all the screws here. Put them all in the back here. And that way, when it comes time to put the turd back together, then, oh, the knobs, don't lose the knobs for the turd, do we? Put them in there as well. Right, and that's the next project, folks. That's the end of the first video, the first episode of the Turd. Right, so I'll put that there. I need to give Jay from Jay's Vintage Junkers a ring as well. Got a soldering iron here for him, so I'll do that in a few minutes. I'm just going to get rid of this video. Thanks for watching, folks. And more to come later, as they say. Bye for now.